What's up, YouTube? Now, by today's title, you should already know what I'm talking about or have a good idea or gist of this topic already and what I'm about to say. Now, if you clicked on the video, it should say, stop worrying about what other people think about you in high school. Now, the main reason I specifically wanted to get at high school is because I feel like in the entertainment industry, especially within movies and TVs, it's this self-portrayal and ideology of a typical high school student, that they have to be popular, they have to have all the clothes, designer clothes and shoes, they have to have the best car, they have to be the best player on the football team or basketball team, they gotta have all the friends that know other people outside of their school, and etc. and stuff like that. And I feel like if a lot of more kids my age just didn't focus on that and just were whole within themselves and um loved themselves as a person and didn't listen to that, it would be a lot less suicide rates and depression within teenagers, because I feel like this is the main stem and problem that leads to that, because like I said, it's portrayed so much, and um people feel like they have to fit into that ideology or that type of that type of energy in society to feel like they are whole and complete within themselves. And this is something that I personally dealt with for the first 2 years of high school, because I felt like I had to fit into that ideology to feel whole within myself and feel good and cool as a person, because like I said, that was just basically the norm of high school, and that's what's really pushed out and portrayed a lot. And it hit me hard. It really did hit me hard, because um I was sad and depressed about it and always questioning myself, because I felt like I had to fit in to that circumstance, especially with me, because I'm an introvert. I stay to myself most of the time, and I felt like I had to fit into that category to feel complete within myself. And that's just the main gist I wanted to go over and talk about, because I just feel like if a lot of more kids just didn't think in that way and operated in that way, a lot more people will be true to themselves and whole within themselves and love themselves as a person. And it will lead to a lot less suicide rates and depression in teenagers in general, because I feel like this is the main problem, where that stems from and where it comes from and how it leads and gets up to that point. So that's just the main thing I really wanted to talk about and go over in this video, because I felt like if I would have known this from the beginning, my mindset would have been way better off for the whole 4 years of high school, and I definitely would have been better and whole within myself mentally, physically, and spiritually as a being, because it really shattered me. It really did. And in my opinion, I feel like high school could either make or break you. And the reason I say this is because the experiences that you go through and what you learned in high school, not necessarily academics, but as you as a person, could shape you and make you into who you are once you graduate, or it can break you from the experiences that you had and what you went through, leading up until the end of high school. And like I said, if I felt like if I would have known this from the beginning, I would have been set way better off. And that's why I really just wanted to get at the topic of high school, because I feel like it's really portrayed a lot there and in real life in general. So with that being said, I kind of want to go over some things that helped me come to this realization that I did not need to fit into that ideology to feel whole within myself. Now, I don't really have a lot of tips. I know I said I had some, but the main root and the tips that I give, basically what I'm, trying to get at is the main things that make, people feel this way, and like the tips I can give to help them deal with this, they all connect and are similar in the same way, or can just be similar in one way. And I may bamble off because it's not really too much to explain. I mean, it is, but at the same time, a lot of these problems could be answered and helped out with in a similar way, because they're all similar in some way, and I'm gonna get into that. Now, a reason I think a lot of people think about this is because people just, they think, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. What I'm trying to say is people don't care about you. People do not care about you. They really do not care about you. And I'm not trying to degrade you or make yourself feel lower than what you are. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people are self-centered and worried about themselves. So they're really not worried about what's going on with you or the next person, or what's going on overall in high school in general. And that's one of the main things I really want to get at, is because I feel like a lot of people feel like they're being watched for some reason, and all eyes are on them because, they're scared of what people think they might be saying about them, when in reality, most of the times, people are really self-centered on themselves and not really worried about what's going on. Now, if somebody is, like, say, for example, you got embarrassed, or, you embarrassed yourself in some way, some kids may talk about you for a little bit or a couple months after that. And, after a while, it may go away anyways. And, a lot of people may not, even bring that up, or even be concerned or care about it to bring it up, or even be worried about it in the first place. Now, if somebody is still bringing that up constantly and always hinting at that, then honestly, they're just weird and they're obsessed with you. And honestly, that's just weird energy right there. So that's really one reason you shouldn't be worried about it. Another reason is that once you graduate high school, you will never ever see any of those people you seen there again. And this is a fact, because most people, once they graduate high school, they go their own separate ways and have their own paths that they want to go down in life. So really, if something did happen to you, and like I said, you may have got embarrassed or something like that, really think about it and just sit back. And this is really a reason that helped me out a lot, is once you graduate, you're not going to see any of these people anymore unless they're remotely, in your circle and are your friends, or just an associate. But if they're not that, then you really shouldn't care about what people are thinking about you, because at the end of the day, once you get to that last year of high school, your senior year, and you graduate, most likely those people that may have said something about you, or you felt were thinking about you and had to say something, you're most likely never ever gonna see them again after you graduate high school. And a third reason, which ties into that, is don't feel like everybody has their eyes on you. And this is something I could really relate to and resonate strong with because, like I said, I'm an introvert and I have a couple of friends, but when I got into high school and started out, I really didn't make that many friends. I really did not make that much friends. So most of the time I just sit by myself at the lunch table, and at first I was so insecure about it. And I was so insecure about it because I felt like people had their eyes on me and they were looking at me and worrying about like, why am I sitting there by myself, and just thought I was the center of attention because I was sitting there by myself. But once I did the groundwork and really healed from this trauma and stopped worrying about that, and once I actually looked around in the cafeteria, I noticed that most people were not even paying attention to me or what I had going on. Because like I said, that ties in with number one. Most people are self-centered within themselves and really do not care about what you have going on. So don't feel like just because you do something differently, or you don't have a lot of friends, or you just don't put yourself out there like that, don't feel like the eyes are all on you, because most of the time people are really not worried about what you have going on as a person. And that's really just a couple of tips and reasons that I wanted to go over. Trying to think of more that you could walk away with. Yeah, like I said, people really honestly, they're not paying attention to you and what you have going on. Don't feel like all the eyes are on you and you're the center of attention because you may operate differently or act out differently, and just, may distance yourself. Don't feel like that. And most people are self-centered within themselves. And, once you actually come to the thought of that, a lot of people are not really focused on what you have going on, and you become more confident within yourself and whole within yourself as a being, you won't have any of these insecurities anymore, because you no longer need to fit into that ideology, because you are confident and know your worth within within yourself, and you know who you are as a person. And just because you don't fit into that ideology doesn't mean that you're less than a being. You still are creative and special, just as the person that you are. And don't let people make you feel like that, because it'll really damage you. It'll really damage you really bad. And like I said, can lead to suicide and depression. And and just because this is mostly portrayed in, like I said, in the entertainment industry and in movies, don't think that there isn't actually some cool, down to earth people in high school, because most people in high schools aren't douche and just jock bags and stuff like that. There are actually some cool, down to earth people that will really stick by you and be concerned about your well-being and how you're doing as an overall person. So that's really all I wanted to talk about and get at on here. Just remember that like I said, you creative, and you set your reality. You make your reality out and stuff like that. So don't let people make you feel less than, because you have to fit into that ideology. Know your worth as a person, and know who you are as a person, and know that you're creative and special in your own way. And like I said, once you find that confidence and work on yourself and know your worth as a person, then you will no longer deal with this problem anymore. And therefore, you will just elevate and become better mentally, physically, well, not physically, but mentally and spiritually as a being, and you won't deal with these problems anymore, and you become more whole within yourself, and not feel like you have to fit into that. So just remember who you are as a person and know your worth, and I promise you, you will overcome this problem.